Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show here on Main Street TV, where we have some special guests in the studio today. Well, two sets of guests, which is even more fun. We have Mr. Marty over there. He's waiting in the wings. We're going to talk about old car stuff here in a second. But first, we're going to talk about Historical Society stuff, which is really, really cool also. And I will be just fine as long as you don't make me say genealogical, because I have a really hard time with that word.
Well, that's not us.
Okay, good. It was so mean. They used to send in a PSA every week, that society, and I would have to read it like when they were meeting, and I was like, please don't. I mean, I appreciate what y'all are doing, but don't make me say that word. It's really hard. But anyway, well, tell everybody who you are.
I'm Jim Meacham from the Historical Society.
And I'm Deana Stroth with the Historical Society.
Not the Genealogical Society.
We're two old historical people.
Two historical people, are you? Like in real life and in the now. You guys. So tell us what's been going on. We haven't had, the historical people in here for a minute. No. So tell us what you all have been up to.
We've had, with the COVID epidemic, like all other groups, it's been really hard to get reorganized and so on, but we're trying to get back in business, and we're working on the Salt Village over there, which we want to talk about today. We're having an open house, and we're just trying to get our marbles back together again.
I gotcha. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Adrian says we have to play a message, and then we will be back because I have all kind of questions about this Salt Lake Village and your open house that you have coming up. So we'll talk about that in just a moment when we get back.
Okay.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and we are back with our friends Deana Stroth and Jim Meacham here from what's the official?
The Jackson Historical Society.
The Jackson Historical Society. I didn't want to mess that up. Oh, look, and you even have like a nice logo and everything.
Yeah.
How fun.
Mike drew that.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Because,
That's what
Mike's
he does.
good. That's what Mike does.
That's right.
He's very good at that kind of stuff. Is he watching today?
He will be when
Okay.
I put it on.
Okay. Hi, Mike. All right. Well, let's talk about, I don't know that a lot of people know that Jackson has origins in salt because it was a long time ago, obviously. So this is why we kind of have this Salt Lick Creek and then Salt Lick Village, right?
Right.
So let's back up and talk about the salt for a minute, what you guys know about that. Because I think a lot of people don't even know. I know that a lot of people know iron because we are the Iron Men and all of that. But
it is really kind of sad that, that people don't understand what's going on in their own community. Not what has gone on, what made this area what it is.
For sure.
Yeah.
We talked about that with Ashley Aldrich the other day. She came in to talk about the walk that they're having, the upstairs uptown walk, and we talked about. I told her some fun stories about like the old radio building that they're going to go into. And I told her a story about when I was in high school, they opened up this teen club for like 5 minutes. And she was like, oh. And I was like, so look for this and look for that up there because it's a remnant of the teen club. She's like, I've never heard that story before. And it's like all of these things that have made our area what it is today. We need to like keep talking about it and telling those stories and writing it down. Bob Irvin can't do it all.
Well, the thing is too, this, like with the salt, which was the foundation, really, of our area. And how important. I mean, this wasn't just, kind of stuff. I mean, this was really important.
I mean, people need salt in their lives, and they traveled here, right, from far
That's right.
to get the resource of that.
This was important enough that the government set aside a huge area here right in Jackson as a salt preserve.
Really?
It was open to anybody that wanted to use it. Of course, with it had regulations and so on.
Yeah.
But it was protected by the government because it was so important.
Isn't that wild? And when was that?
That would have been it started in the 1700s, the salt boiling.
Wow.
Up into the
1795, I think,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Mm-hmm.
You just wonder, like, I don't know. I mean, humankind's been on the earth for however long, but who was the person that found out we needed salt, and then who was the person that figured out that we have it, that it's in this area, and then how, without cell phones and the internet, did they get the word out?
Right. And that is interesting. I know Joseph Conklin, I think he was from Maysville, Kentucky, I believe that's correct, is the one who first came here. A lot of people think it was John Martin. I think he was the second guy.
Oh, okay.
But, Joseph Conklin was the first one, that came and started salt boiling.
Really? And so how's the whole salt thing work? Is it a mineral that's just in the earth, or is it? I'm not familiar with it.
The salt here is in the ground as a brine, a liquid of brine.
Oh.
And they dug wells and brought it up, and then it was placed in either pots or on, even earlier, in indentations on a rock where the sun dried it.
That's how the Indians did it.
They boiled
okay.
They boiled the brine down. They kept adding brine until they got a kettle full of salt.
And then so obviously the liquid then evaporates, and
Yeah.
it just leaves you with the pure salt.
And it is described as something or something that's almost not edible. It was so bad. It was not Morton salt that we get.
It wasn't quite the same.
No.
Himalayan.
Right, not the pretty pink sea salt
That's
that
right.
we put on our dishes today and think we're all bougie about it.
Right.
Interesting. So is there still salt in our land today? Or?
Yes, below us.
Really? We just don't want it?
It came from millions of years ago, and rose up in the earth to where they could get to it. It's changed since then. The groundwater has changed, but there's still salt there.
So where do humankind get salt today?
In
The grocery store.
I know. That's what I'm saying. No, good point. Like steak comes from the grocery store, and but where does the stuff in the grocery store come from?
Most of what we have here in Ohio comes from under Lake Erie. There's mines underneath Lake Erie.
Okay, now you're blowing my mind. Huge mines. Isn't Lake Erie like ginormous?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So who figured out that? How can something be under a lake?
Well, that's what I was saying. It was millions of years ago. The rock layers under there are some of them are made up of salt. It goes clear up into the Michigan basin.
And of course, we, one of the things we want to do over at Salt Lake Village is, have like a recreation of a salt furnace.
Yeah, so that would be really cool because again, this is our heritage back before the iron and all this stuff.
Well, and Jackson wasn't called Jackson then; it was called Salt Lake Town.
Nuh-uh. You all are blowing my mind this morning. Salt
You're
Lake
getting
Town.
educated.
Yes, I am. Okay. And so when did we become Jackson?
We went through Jackson Courthouse
Yeah.
and then Jackson.
And we were all part of Ross County at one time.
Nuh-uh.
You see why we need to preserve these
I
records?
was so not prepared for this morning. Like my mind is like going. Ugh.
And not that Ross County either.
Not the Marty Ross.
Not the Marty Ross County.
You don't have your own county? No. Okay. Ross County wasn't named after you. Okay. All right. No, not yeah. My ADHD is going all over the place this morning. Okay, so let's get to Salt Lake Village. I think that Salt Lake Village was that a brainchild of George Kitchen, or did he kind of help along with it, or
he did help along with it?
How did it come to be?
Well, we had the lease on the depot. And,
the Historical Society did.
And I'm trying to think, how did that come that we got possession of that area where Basil Oil was?
I don't remember really how we got it. There was a train club that had the depot, and we inherited it from them.
Okay.
They wanted us to continue the tradition there of having a train museum.
Okay. Let's stop right there for a minute. The depot, is that something that people can go in and visit? I see a lot of senior pictures there.
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yeah, and the caboose, of course we acquired that caboose, and, that's one thing. Like I said, the buildings that we have there, that's the purpose for the open house, is for people to come in and, and take a look. And like Jim keeps saying, we're under construction, and especially in the depot, we're still working on, the different rooms that are in there. But we've got the depot, we've got the cabin, the log cabin that's over there. We have the township house, and we have what we call the post office. So.
But don't take your mail there.
Don't take your mail there, no.
Probably.
But we are going to show people. That's one thing, a little display thing or a little hands-on thing for people who would like to see how the mail was handled. Back then. I mean, we didn't have envelopes. You had to fold up a letter. Remember, and you put the wax seal on it, and then put your little, seal on it. So
I do. So I had one of those when I was little, and my cousin and I used to write letters back and forth. But we actually used envelopes. But my mom bought me this wax thing, had a little J in it.
Right.
So cute.
Right. So
which means she also let me play with fire, which is scary. Anyway, now that I'm thinking back about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, so you actually just folded up the piece of paper and then sealed it with the wax.
You fold it up and then and then put the like you say, you have to. I use what I was using, and when I was testing, it was a little candle, like a birthday candle.
Yeah.
And melt the wax in a little spoon, pour it on there, and then put your little seal. It's fun.
It is. It's like unique, It is. It's like everyone's different. Okay, so the post office, interesting. So what was the idea behind the Salt Lake Village? Is it to recreate what, was there originally, or?
It was twofold. It was to preserve the railroad tradition and to try to demonstrate what life and what a small city would be like back in the late 1800s.
Okay. And do you have plans to add more stuff there, or?
The salt boiler operation, and we also are working with a couple of groups in expanding into a park system there.
Okay, great.
The city has a large lot there that we would like to see developed.
Okay.
That goes clear over to Harding.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, back in 1989, long time ago.
A few years ago.
Mike, of course, he came up with that North Meadow Park design. Do you remember that?
No.
There's going to be like an outdoor theater with serpentine walkways and period lighting, and I should have brought that picture. Actually, I have it out in my car, but yeah, it's it's going to be a bit. I think that would be a big tourist draw, with an outdoor theater. You could have concerts or plays or
outside. That would be cool.
Yeah. So.
The train museums across the United States are a large draw for people. They actually plan their vacations around them.
Really?
To travel and see them. So.
That is so cool. You know, that's one thing that I've never done is be like on a train, other than Noah's Ark Animal Park, but I don't think that counts. That's dating me too.
You've never been on a train?
No, and it's just like one of those things. It's like bucket list
Yeah, you
stuff
gotta do that. That's so cool. Yeah.
that I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to go to get on a train, but you know.
You need to go to Cass, West Virginia.
Yeah, Amtrak, is, yeah. Catlettsburg or something like that, I think, is where you get on.
I don't know the Amtrak.
Yeah, Mike and I have done that a couple times, 3 maybe.
Like an Amtrak. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
It would force you to relax. I feel like.
I think that's true. And that clickety clack, yeah.
And you're just like sitting on a train, like you can't really.
No place to go.
Not really a lot to do. So that would be cool.
Growing up I grew up in Lima. We used to get on a train and go over to Fort Wayne and shop.
Really?
The train back.
And that was your transportation?
It was available. I mean, it was available then. It was fun to do.
Absolutely. And wouldn't it be fun? I mean, I think that somebody's working on that, but like a train from, here to, say, Cleveland or whatever. How cool would that be that you could jump on a train, go to Columbus or whatever, come back? Like,
That's true.
You wouldn't have to worry about driving, and you could do whatever along the way, like work or, just stare at the wall. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Just eat. Sit in the dining car.
There you go. Have you a drink? Whatever.
Yeah.
So we digress about the trains, but I've never been on one, and that's always been a bucket list thing of mine. So now I need to make that happen.
We'll have the caboose open down there.
Okay.
It's a house in itself. The conductor had everything he needed in there as the train moved to sleep, eat, and the whole business.
Really?
They had a pot-bellied stove in there and bunks that they could sleep on.
Is all that still in it?
Yeah, the pot-bellied stove we've got out right now, I think. I'm not sure it's in there. We were working on it and trying to replace it. It's not an easy item to replace.
Right.
But you can see, and
That's so cool.
They're rather large inside, and from what your mind thinks about being that little box car. But that'll be open for people to take a look at.
Very good. And then, so you were talking about getting a salt boil system. Do they still exist out there, or would you have to build a replica of one, or how does that work?
This would be a replica. They would have a series of metal pots in 2 rows with fire underneath them. And the salt would go from one pot to the other as the brine boiled down. It would condense from one pot to the other till it got to the end where it was salt.
Very cool. So that's a plan for a future date.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about this open house and when and all of that and exactly what's going on.
It's this Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday. Okay.
Yes. We'll be open from noon to 4, and Chef Matt Garvey will be doing hot dogs.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah. So, so we invite everybody to come down and see what we've been doing.
Okay,
or in the process of doing.
This coming Saturday, noon to 4. And if you don't know where we're talking about, what's the best way to describe where it is? Across from Hometown Hibachi, food truck.
And of course the depot is right there.
Yeah.
It's at Broadway and Water Street
at
the bottom of the hill.
Here in Jackson.
See it from there,
And you can't miss it. And it's, the train depot with the caboose sitting beside it. And then there's the little buildings sitting there. That's Salt Lick Village.
That's right.
Yeah, so very cool. No, that'll be neat to see, to have those buildings open. And is there stuff inside the buildings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The cabin is really fully furnished.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I think it's Bob Irvin's heritage.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
The township house we're still working on, but it's interesting. It was used for both a circuit court in those days. There were no permanent courts.
Really?
They had a judge that horseback traveled around and carried on court. And it was also a vote. It was where voting took place.
Yeah.
Okay.
I voted in that particular township house. That's the Scioto Township House.
Really?
We moved it in from Scioto Township to the village.
Where did the other buildings that are there come from?
Well, the log cabin, Elaine McCoy donated that to us. It was out in the good heavens.
Franklin
yeah.
Township.
Yeah, and so we had to disassemble that and bring it.
And move. I mean, that's no small feat to do that.
Right.
Yeah, it comes in a piece at a time, a log at a time.
Yeah, right? Literally.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
And Judge Martin will be, he'll be talking there at the township house, so, he'll know a little bit about what.
Well, the good news about Bill Martin is the fact that he never needs a PA system.
That's true.
He has that lovely booming voice that can be heard for miles around. Love him. All right. Well, that's so good. So Saturday, noon to 4, free food.
Nope.
Well, donation.
Donation for food. Okay.
Cheap food.
Cheap food. It's a good kind, right?
That's right.
So hot dogs, just come and see. I mean, I think that's so neat that what's there, and I drive by it every single day of my life, pretty much, and but I've never been inside the buildings because they're not open all the time. Right. So this would be a perfect opportunity for you to stop by, see what's going on there, and
learn a little bit.
Learn about our heritage, the same as I just learned a lot as you all are sitting here today.
Right.
We would like to have people come down and take an interest in possibly participating in our society there with the village and our other activities.
And I think that's great. When do you meet if somebody wants to be part of the Historical Society?
It's the third Thursday of every month, except September, because of the Apple Festival, we obviously don't meet.
Okay.
But yeah, the third Thursday of every month, and we're at the Potter Room at the library.
Oh, okay. Perfect meeting space.
6:00.
There you go. And you can learn lots, and you can have some fun, and be part of a really cool group.
Right.
Yeah, love that.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, too, for coming in.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate that.
Yeah, and if you have anything coming up, please let us know. And also, if you'd like to maybe come back, send some members and do some segments about, things like salt or, our heritage or whatever. I think that would be a fun show, too.
Okay.
Well, I'll probably be seeing you with Rick next month.
Okay.
For the Christmas show.
Because you're one of Rick's chicks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why that's okay, but we all think it's so cute.
It is cute. Yeah.
In any other world, it would not be. But yeah, no, it's really fun. No, we look forward to that. Very good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Our friend Marty is here to talk about some things to do with the Old Car Club. So we will have a couple messages, or one or two, or I don't know what Adrian tells me that we will do, and then we will be back with Marty Ross in just a moment.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Marty Ross. And well, where's the John today?
Doctor's appointment. I do believe.
Okay, we'll give him that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally
he's busy enough anyway.
Right. You two are a good dynamic duo, but
you.
we love having you here as well. And sometimes you have different hats on, but today you have on your Appalachian Old Car Club
Yes.
hat. But Marty was so good in pointing out that while Deana was sitting here, she missed a perfect opportunity to give a ginormous plug for something. So I'll let you do it instead.
Okay. With the library's anniversary coming up Tuesday, it's another chance to see the D. Merrill Davis McCormick Choir.
Yes.
And we'll be there from 5:30 to probably about 10 till 6, and then they have the orchestra coming in too.
Yes, they do.
So it's a night of remembrance and music. But the Davis McCormick Choir is going to do probably about 4 or 5 songs and some old standards that we've done before, and just try to entertain the crowd and let people know a little more about us, and certainly add to the festivities there at the library.
Of course. And, we want everyone to stop out and celebrate 50 years of the Jackson City Library being at that location. And, that's something to celebrate. That's a really good birthday. Mm-hmm. And please come out. Our library is amazing. The folks that work there are amazing. The choir is amazing. There's going to be the orchestra from
Columbus, I think.
Yeah,
it's Columbus Symphonies.
Yeah, they're sending a smaller orchestra down to perform. So, this is going to be a night of just celebration and fun and beauty, and we hope and you can win some stuff along the way too. Yeah, I think they have some door prizes and stuff.
The library before this venue was in the Memorial Building.
Yes, it was.
And that's engraved above the door even. So,
and
that's some more history.
You're right about that. And the library folks were in the other day, and we were talking about, the events that they have coming up. But Roger was also talking about the birthday party and all that. And, like I said, I've seen the Memorial Building 3,000 times probably in my lifetime, and I didn't realize that it says library in it. I knew the library was there, but I didn't know. Do you know where the library was before that?
Oh, no. That'd be before me.
I know something that you don't know. Yeah. I only know because they told me. It was in a building where the PNC Bank drive-through is now.
Oh. I did not know.
I know, right? I didn't know that either.
That's before my time.
Yeah. That was a few years ago, we'll just say. So, well, I'll tell you what, Marty, you came to talk about something very, very fun that's going on soon. Yeah. So I'll let you go.
The Appalachian Old Car Club is having a cruise-in this Saturday from 5 to 7. What Deana and Jim just talked about was noon to 4.
There you go.
And ours is 5 to 7, so you have time to go to the bathroom and then come out to our place.
And you could cruise your car in to the Salt Lake Village thing and then come on out to the cruise-in as well.
Very, very easily done. They have a pretty good parking space there.
Yeah.
But, you could show or demonstrate your car there and bring it out to our place and sit around with everybody and just talk about cars or whatever's on your mind at the time.
Yeah.
But it's at the Trinity Chapel, which is south of Jackson, at Mayhew and 93. It's next to the big West Banco building.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
big stone church there.
Yes. And so we have a large parking lot. We're going to have hot dogs, chips, and drinks, and just a lot of, I think a car show puts a little pressure on the owner that they have to clean them up and present them so well.
Yes, I'm glad you said that, because I think that's why these cruise-ins are just all fun and not a lot of pressure.
Right. And maybe people think their car isn't show quality or whatever, but they've got something that they want people to see or talk about.
Or they just enjoy driving it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times people will bring their cars and say, well, I've got a little carburetor trouble. And then they'll talk to someone that
I never thought about
maybe knows how to tweak it or where to get the parts or something. So it's a community within itself that share ideas and information. And of course, that's how all this got started back 51 years ago, that some guys were sitting in well, actually a few more years than that. The club's been in existence 51 years, but guys were sitting in some guy's garage talking about cars and said, hey, let's have an event. So then they made the car club and started doing events. So
and it's been going ever since.
But just getting together, talking about cars or the old ones you used to have or whatever. And that's the nice thing about these. You'll be walking through and I say, oh, Grandpa used to have one of those or
right?
something like that. And it brings back those memories. And that's a lot of what the car culture does, is bring back the memories from our childhood or our high school days or whatever.
Absolutely. And, you know, let's just be honest, cars aren't as much fun today. They're safer and probably more efficient and probably quieter. But they're not as much fun as they were back then. And, you know,
back then when you turned the key, you weren't 100% sure it was going to start.
That is true.
Now it's a foregone conclusion. But,
yeah, you just push a button and off you go, or you just...
And it does all these things.
Yes. Do you know, I don't know if you saw this or not the other day, I was watching the news and they were talking about the fact, and I have had this conversation with so many people, and so I know it's true, and like even younger people that are all into technology and whatever, that car manufacturers are going back now to putting knobs and stuff on cars, because they've all gone to these touch screens and whatever, and it's like literally you're driving down the road and you have to get into menus and stuff. That is not safe, and people don't like it. If I want to turn up the radio, I want to turn a knob.
Yeah, in my early vehicles, you didn't even have to look. You just did it by feel. And you knew how much to move the temperature gauge or move the fan gauge or switch one way or the other. And now it's like you have to look at the screen so you can hit the right button.
Which they want to talk about distracted driving. I mean, the car manufacturers are forcing us to do that. Because, you know, you're driving down the highway, sometimes you get hot or cold and you have to get into this menu and you're, you know, it's awful. So anyway, fun fact is that car manufacturers are going back to, you know, the knobs and the things that we all, buttons. Like if I want to turn up the temperature, there should be an up or a down button or
just a little toggle
lever
switch.
or something. Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that happen.
They say, but you know what? Also, fun fact, they were saying in this same story that it actually costs car manufacturers more money to put the knobs on than it does the computer systems.
Yeah, but each one would need some kind of diode or vacuum switch or something instead of just having it all electronic on one screen,
but
I'm sure. So.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I look at a computer enough. I don't want to look at it while I'm driving down the road. Like, too much complication for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's I think it kind of deters people from a little bit from buying brand new cars in a way.
I've heard people say that.
I like my car. It still has, you know, turn knobs and stuff on it. I don't want to get into. I will never be able to work it. So, but we digress about that because we're basically though talking about the fact that old cars are fun, and some of the new cars aren't as much fun. They are probably safer and whatnot with airbags and backup cameras and all that. But
my first car had seat belts, a '66 Comet, and it had a seat belt. And I fought the notion of using it. I don't need one of those, but it was a bench seat, and when I'd go around turns, it'd slide across the seat. So I had to put the seat belt on to hold me where I could drive properly.
So I've probably told you this story before, but in growing up, so back when, you know, I was in high school, and I'm sure when you were too, we used to cruise, you know, like, you know, well, that's not a thing anymore because, well, it's just not a thing anymore. But so our fun thing, my friend Val, her family had this Ford Maverick. Number one, if you're going to put like 14 girls in a car to be safe, the Ford Maverick is the car for you, because there was no hurting that thing. I don't know how much it weighed.
And you couldn't move.
Yeah.
With that many girls.
Well, that's true too. But we were able to put that many girls in the car. But no, we used to all pile in the front seat. So there'd be like, 4 of us all piled in the front seat, or 5 of us all, whatever. But I can remember turning the corner and, you're right, sliding, because it had like the vinyl seat.
Right.
But no, we had so much fun in that car, because it was so big, and it was like you couldn't get hurt in it. There was no way, because of all the steel that surrounded you.
Yeah, I was going to say real sheet metal.
Yeah, it was. Like, again, I don't know how much it weighed, but it was not energy efficient. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, so we used to cruise uptown in that old Maverick, so it would be funny to see one of those again. And I know it wasn't probably a car that's like a collector's item, but it would be
coming. Well,
fun
the thing
to see.
is they're coming back because the other cars that have become collector items, the price is going up and up on those, and someone looks in their barn or garage and says, "Hey, I've got an old Maverick," and so they can put a Mustang engine in it or whatever, and
really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and put a nice paint job on it, and then you've got a show car or a cruiser or whatever.
And I'm telling you, you can't hurt the thing. So God knows we probably tried.
With 14 girls. Yes.
Yeah, with 14 girls in it. Probably not 14 girls, but that was back before you had to wear seatbelts and all that stuff, and had to have a seatbelt for every human and all that.
But just a side note, and also was with the radio and your help, we had over 150 cars at our August car show with the in conjunction with the Pig Iron Days.
The Wheels of Steel
was the most ever. I think
congratulations.
Last year we
amazing.
had 100, and 3 or 4 years ago we had 123, but 150 really.
So I knew you guys were killing it, because I have to be in at the tap room, on Saturday mornings, and so I think I had to run to Kroger for something, and it was like 9:30. And I don't know when you started registration, at like 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I drove by there. It was like 9:30, 9:40, and I was like, the whole park was full already. And I was like, they are going to kill it today. That is so good.
I got there about 10 to 8 to take some of the supplies over, and there were probably 15, 18 cars at that time, and they just kept pouring in.
It was awesome.
And so luckily we had enough able-bodied members to guide them and help them park and all that.
And it was a beautiful day.
Oh, it was a wonderful day, and we really appreciate everyone that came, showed their cars. With that number, Johnny had to become a judge instead of doing what he normally does, and so it took a while longer. We had 2 sets of judges to do that many cars, and it took a while, and I think we handed out the last trophy around 5:30 or so.
Oh, wow.
Which we tried to shoot for 3 or 3:30.
Yeah, right.
But with the, I guess it's a two-edged sword. You want a lot of cars to come, and so everyone can see them and they can be seen, but it takes longer to judge them and to tabulate the judging sheets and all that. But
it does.
People hung on with us, and
hey, it was
we're
just
very
more
gracious
pork sandwiches
about
you could eat.
Yeah. Well, they ran out of food
Oh,
too.
did they?
They apparently ran out of every morsel of food that they had, so they had a good day.
Very successful.
They gave away all the little pig irons that they normally give. So
Yep.
The attractions there, people were coming to be in it and to be part of it. So that was all appreciated. But the car people all were very gracious and just kind of hanging around until we gave out the last few trophies, and then they sped off. But with our wonderful sponsors we have, and the door prizes and the trophies that we have, and so it was, I think, a good day for everyone.
I think it was.
But again, this is just a cruise in, no judging.
Fun.
And if you're working on a car and you it's not quite there yet, bring it anyway, and we'll look at it and appreciate what you've done to it. So.
You know, and the Trinity Chapel is so easy to get in and out of. It's just on State Route 93. Go past Walmart if you're coming from Jackson, and it's on the right-hand side. Can't miss it. And you can just do a loop around.
You can do a loop. There's a entrance exit over on the Mayhew side. Takes a little of the pressure off the other entrance exit. So, just drive slowly as you're going through, and pull over and talk to the people with the cars, and they always appreciate that. And
sure.
And there's always one car that's, when you're walking through, catches your eye, and for the paint job on it, or the amount of chrome under the hood, or that it evokes one of those old memories, or whatever.
Yes.
That it really is a fun activity for everybody. So.
You know, it's funny. I used to go with my stepdad, Davey. We would go to car shows, and there was one particular down at Bob Evans, and I remember this car, and I was in, like, high school, so that was a few years ago. I remember this car like it was yesterday, and I remember everything about it because I fell in love with this car, and it was an old Camaro, and it had the coolest paint job on it. And I stopped and asked the guy about it, and he said, thank you. It was like a burgundy color, but it turned black, like it was almost like iridescent. And so I asked him about it. It's called Candy Brandy Wine. I remember that like it was yesterday. And I remember that car like it was yesterday. And it's just so weird that car will not leave my brain.
Kathy showed her Thunderbird down to the Valerie's. The Street Riders had their car show down there, and she showed her car. And actually, there was a 34 Ford 5-window coupe down there that had that exact paint job.
Really?
On it. Yes. It was all stock, everything. It was the lady's grandfather's car. He bought it new, and they had repainted it and redone the upholstery, but it was all done in the original fashion. It had wire wheels, which were yellow, and had that candy brandy wine paint on it. And
I'm not full of it. It actually exists.
I have a picture of it on my phone, but
it's a cool paint job.
It is. It just looks like it goes forever.
It does. That's what struck me so much about it, is it's like it didn't end.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you could go right into the car. But, well, I'll tell you what, let's get back to the cruise-in, because this is very, very important. And listen, you don't have to have a car to come to the cruise-in.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Like, drive yourself out there and look at everybody else's cars. That's the fun part, too.
And the people that have cars are showing them off. They want them to be seen, so they appreciate other people that maybe don't have a car or would like to have a car. Come through, look at theirs, and maybe get the bug to start your own little project. So
there you go. See, it's a great thing.
Yep, it works 2 or 3 different ways for people. So.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to maybe become a member of the Old Car Club, you can talk with them about that as well.
Yep, we'll be available to talk to anybody. We meet at Trinity Chapel usually the second Thursday of the month, and at 6 o'clock. And I think dues are $15 for a single, $20 for a couple, so it's not expensive to.
See?
And if you can help at the events, that's great, and get to be part of Jackson's heritage, kind of like the Historical Society.
You got it.
So keep that and apple butter and the music and cars going and
all the fun stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so the cruise-in this coming Saturday, 5 to 7 at the Trinity Chapel, which is on State Route 93. Thank you, Adrian. And as you can see at the bottom, there will be hot dogs, chips, drinks, and desserts. Mm-hmm. So you cooking?
Johnny is, I think.
Okay.
I'm not a grill master. By any.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Marty, is there anything else you had going on?
I think that's it.
Okay.
I appreciate your time.
Well, we appreciate your time, for sure. And how did the apple butter go at the Apple Festival?
It went.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, we had really good help. We had good volunteers. We made some nice batches, and things were very busy every day.
I kept sending people down there because they were like, where do I get apple butter? And then, I missed the apple butter today. They're already out.
Yeah.
Just keep going down there.
Still, the fun thing with that, it's kind of like the car club thing. We have people come from all over. We have people from Milton, West Virginia. We talked to them for several minutes. They stood in line for about an hour and a half to get some apple butter. There was a guy from Dublin, Ohio. He said, that's up by Columbus. Like we didn't know where that.
Know.
They don't know where we are, but we know where they are.
Yeah.
But
around Columbus.
Yeah, and we had people come from the Dayton area, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Grayson area, all that.
Awesome.
Come get apple butter, and we appreciate every one of them. And then there's the people that buy cases of it from here. And someone was selling a food product in their food truck at the Apple Festival with our
cool
apple butter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Good deal. All right. Well, I think I have to sneeze. Okay, no.
Bless you.
That came out of nowhere. Sorry about that. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, Marty, thank you so much for stopping by, and get out to the Classic Car Cruise-In this coming weekend at Trinity Chapel on Saturday, 5 to 7. And our good friend Pete Wilson is here, so we're going to do some news. And so I think we have another message, and we'll be back with Pete and some news in just a minute.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back with Pete Wilson and the news.
All right. Well, we have a very important development or possible development in Vinton County to tell you, and it has to do kind of with history, but also the here and now.
Okay.
Do you remember when the Vinton County Sheriff's Office was vacated? You know, the old building next to the courthouse goes back to the Civil War.
Yes.
Sometimes that's where Maud was.
Where Maud was.
Right. Well, anyway, they vacated that for, new and modern facilities where the developmental disabilities folks have been. There is the historic sheriff's office. The commissioners in 2024 voted to demolish the building because, it's not in very good shape.
Just in bad shape, yeah.
Right, and they thought, the location, something else, parking lot or whatever might go there that would be good to use. And also, some of them were frankly worried about it falling down and that sort of thing. It was in such bad shape, they thought. Well, there was 2 new commissioners that were elected in 2024. So this year, there are 2 of the commissioners, of the 3 commissioners, are new. And they had concerns about the planned demolition. And the demolition was going to be done through the county, so or through the state money that is available through demolition. So, that the cost wasn't going to be a problem.
So, like, they wanted to try to preserve the building, or they just didn't like how it was going to be demolished, or?
Well, they don't know yet. But the 2 commissioners, and I'm not sure how the third feels. Maybe he's on the fence now. But the 2 new commissioners, which are Jeffrey Harper and Kevin Kozad, want to see if the building can be saved. They said there's some sentiment in the community for that because of, the historic preservation. And so they haven't committed to save the building, but they have decided to hire an expert, Tetra Tech. We've heard them before. They do a lot of environmental evaluation. They're involved in some demolition projects. They're the company that's going to oversee the memorial building demolition.
Gotcha.
But anyway, they have been hired to do a building assessment of the sheriff's office. And after that assessment is done and the commissioners get the report, they will decide which way to go. If the building can be saved, if it's feasible to do that, I'm not sure whether the cost will be an issue or not. They will decide whether to keep the building, but they would like to do it if that's a feasible thing to do.
Okay.
So
Cool.
the sheriff's office building has gone from being on the demolition list to being on the maybe list. So we will see what happens there. That evaluation, once again, is by Tetra Tech, and they will lay out the whole 9 yards. If you do this, this is how much it's going to cost, and this is what you have to do to make sure the building is okay and whatever. Now, if the building would preserved, they didn't say what they would do with it other than preserve it, so we'll have to see about that. I'm not sure it would be converted or more or less kept as it is because of the historic element. Okay, well, this is homecoming weekend for Wellston High School and Vinton County High School. So that means that some young people, boys and girls, are in the spotlight as the royalty.
Gotcha.
At Wellston High School, we've got their picture. These are the young ladies from Wellston High School who are in line to be royalty, either to be the queen or the king. From the left, you have sophomore attendant Gracie Ferguson, senior attendant Mia Skeens, senior attendant Jalen Gillespie, senior attendant Jocelyn Maley, and freshman attendant Easton Holzapple. So not pictured is junior attendant Hayden Denny. It's hard to get everybody at school at the same time, especially with the Buckeye Hills Career Center. But the homecoming queen at Wellston will be crowned on Friday evening. It'll be at the football game between Wellston and Athens. And there has been in the past a king at Wellston. Now, they hadn't picked those folks yet, or they weren't available through a picture, so we'll have to see about that. But in the past, there's also been a homecoming king at Wellston, so there may be. And of course, as always, in addition to the crowning of the royalty, the announcement of the queen, on Saturday there will be a homecoming dance. That will be at the WHS Cafetorium from 7 to 9 p.m. So congratulations to all those young people, and of course we will be there at the football game to get a picture of the crowning moment.
You got it.
All right. Homecoming is a big deal at Vinton County High School. They do more during homecoming week than many of the other schools. They have activities all the way heading into the weekend. They have theme days. Keep that picture up there, Aiden, and we'll get to who there is because there's lots of folks that we want to identify. But they go, they have theme days, they have a parade and bonfire. I believe that's tomorrow that they do that. And they have both king and queen candidates. The king is going to be a senior, the queen is going to be a senior, and then they have the underclassmen attendance for the ladies. So let's take a look at the candidates for queen. I believe they are on the front row. From the left, seated is Hope Goodson, Lexi Hamilton, Bailey Kite, and Aubrey Renee. Not pictured is one of the other senior candidates, Lydia Mayer. So there's 5 girls who could be the 2025 Vinton County High School homecoming queen. The queen will be crowned in pregame ceremonies before the Vinton County River Valley game. That's Friday night, of course, at Vinton County. There'll, of course, be a homecoming dance that night. In the back row, we have underclassmen attendants and king candidates. Let's identify them. From the left, freshman attendant Lily Hearn, sophomore attendant Olive Booth. The senior king candidates are Sam Quackenbush, Josiah Smith, Zach Mullahan, and Carter Lindner, and then Gage Graves. And on the far right there is Maddie Channel, who is the junior class attendant. All right.
Cool.
So all that, once again, is this weekend. Well, actually this week, because as I said, they do the parade and bonfire on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure they have theme days during the week, how you dress up, that's fun. Make it a fun week all the way through. And then the homecoming game on Friday night and the homecoming dance on Saturday. Okay, as you know, because you're a person in the know, they had the Buckeye Fall Furnace Festival last Saturday. And can you imagine a better day to be out in the country there? And Adrian's going to throw up some of the pictures. Let's not lose sight that when you go to Buckeye Furnace, it's just not a festival, it is an historic site.
Yes, it is.
That is the restored charcoal iron furnace. I understand that it's one of the very few in the world. 3. Right.
And, in the U.S. anyway.
Something like that. And I remember it was built like in the 1970s. It's such a nice, it's not only just the historic value, and there's lots of interpretive signs there. You just don't look. You can learn a heck of a lot about Jackson's industrial heritage. And that's how a lot of people got here in the first place. They came as, maybe Deana Stroth and Jim Meacham said, for salt in the late 1700s. But then what kept them here was our mineral wealth, including first the charcoal iron and then the pig iron that came along later and so forth. Pizza and frozen food didn't come along until a little
That's
later.
right. Now we kill pizza rolls.
And potato chips and all that.
Yeah.
But this is such a great site to be out there. The only thing that works against it as far as being a real tourist attraction is it is off the beaten track a little bit.
Yeah.
Some folks in Jackson County might have trouble getting there, let alone, if you're coming from far away.
Yep.
But other scenes from the Buckeye Fall Furnace, they had a car show for the first time, and
Super cool.
Went pretty good. As you know, you got to have good weather. That's the first ingredient for a successful car show, which they did. About 55 cars for a first-time car show. So and when you have a nice car show on the weekend, they're mostly on the weekend, so you're competing against other car shows. So that was pretty good to get 55. To get 55 out. That was a yellow Ford Model T, by the way, if you weren't sure. Oh, that is Jan McKibben. She was on the grill doing the home cooked food. Her and Tammy Mash are the caretakers out there, and they do a great job. And obviously, they have a central role in putting the Fall Furnace Festival on. And, of course, it's seasonal. You always are doing pumpkin painting out there, and that is what that young man is doing. And that is Elijah Ewing, 10 years old from Wellston. Didn't see his finished product. I can't tell you that, but you can see that he's starting on it right there.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Fun.
And there on the left is Andy Milliken. A lot of folks know Andy. He's from around here. He lives out that way. And he often performs at the Buckeye Fall Furnace Festival, and he certainly did this year. And we know who those folks are. If you're involved in music around here, you know the Red Brush Band. Some of the folks that are in it have changed over the years because they've been around seemingly forever, but they still do great bluegrass country music, very talented folks, regional favorites. And they always do a lot of the local events. They like to support them.
Yes.
And they are staples at the Buckeye Fall Furnace Festival.
Such talent.
And they were there again this year. And, of course, another thing that attracts people are the vendors. When you go to some of these, whether it's a yard sale, a flea market, a vending show, you can find things that you're not going to find in a big department store in town.
That's right.
And in this case, there's a lot of craft and vintage items that are there, some antique type things. And I know that they had quite a few vendors. I'm not sure how many there were, but I know that the early signups, they had quite a few. And then, of course, when the weather went into the weekend so pleasant, they all came out, and I'm sure that the sales were good too. Buckeye, Jeremiah Shaver was out covering this for me. He took these wonderful pictures, and he did say that there was a great attendance. And they did manage the parking. Sometimes that's a little bit of an issue because it's not built for a lot of people coming necessarily. There's no paved parking lot. But people spread out pretty good. They put the car show up on the hill, and so that really didn't affect the parking down below.
Cool.
All right, another event that happened not too long ago, last Thursday, we want to throw up a token picture of that, and that was the Jackson Sidewalk Market. And this was a really representative picture because Alex Shope was there, and he took that picture because there's that rack of pink T-shirts there. Of course, the theme, there was always a theme every month at the Jackson Sidewalk Market, done by the Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce, and I know the Jackson Town Association, of course, has a stake in that. It was to promote Breast Cancer Control Awareness Month, which is always in October, and a lot of I know they collected money for that cause. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Not sure what group or whatever it went to, but they always, when they collect money from their vendor fees and like that, they always hold out money for some good cause every month.
Yes,
Dog
they do.
pound or something like this.
Yep.
And so once again,
Pink Party.
they had great weather as well.
Yep.
All right, just a reminder, because we're running out of time, do want to remind you that this is the second day of early voting at the Jackson County and Benton County Board of Elections. As a matter of fact, it's all over the state, all 88 counties you can do it. You can't do it anywhere. You do it at the Elections Board office in your respective home county. For Jackson County, of course, that is the Job and Family Services Building at 25 East South Street. You go in the back door, it is marked. You can go and, vote anytime from 8 to 5 p.m. Any day this week through Friday. Same thing goes for the Benton County Board of Elections, which is located at 31935 State Route 93, north end of MacArthur, in the community building. And so, the Board of Elections folks in both counties will be glad to facilitate your voting. You can take care of it, at your convenience, and there's going to be extended hours all the way through the Sunday before the election at the elections
You have no
office.
excuse.
And you can vote absentee as well. You can request a ballot, they'll mail it to you, or you can pick one up and then return it. As long as you get it back by a certain deadline, you're golden.
You got it.
All right, well, there you go, Jennifer.
Well, thank you, Pete. Well, I'll tell you what, thank you to all our special guests that stopped by today. And of course, our good friend Pete Wilson here for some news. And we will be back tomorrow, Passion Works Studio? In Athens. Okay. That sounds like a fun thing to learn about. So I'll tell you what, we'll be back here tomorrow. We appreciate you tuning in today. So have a great day, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.